Hello, my name is Eric Tucker, and today I will be reporting on the de-extinction of the Tasmanian tiger. So the Tasmanian tiger is formerly known as the thylacine. It's an extinct carnivorous marsupial that was once native to Australia and Tasmania. It actually went extinct on mainland Australia around 2,000 years ago when the dingo was introduced. At that time, there were about 5,000 thylacines in Tasmania when the Europeans colonized Tasmania. So the thylacines haven't always been loved by the Australians and the Tasmanians, and they were labeled a nuisance pest by farmers who then hired hunters to hunt the thylacines from their land. So the Tasmanian government also got involved in this and started paying hunters for pelts of adult and pup thylacines. So this unregulated hunting went on for almost 100 years, from the 1830s to the 1930s. They did keep some thylacines in zoos, and the efforts to save this species from extinction came way too late. The last thylacine died in Beaumaris Zoo in September of 1936. It was officially declared extinct 50 years later in 1986. And this extinction was due primarily to three factors: the overhunting of the species, the habitat destruction caused by the farmers and ranchers, and then introduced diseases that the dogs of the farmers brought with them when they arrived in Tasmania. So de-extinction has been described as the process of reviving previously extinct species, and the company that is leading the charge in this de-extinction research is called Colossal Biosciences. It's a company out of Dallas, Texas, and it is privately funded by a lot of well-off patrons like Paris Hilton, amongst others, and they've raised millions of dollars for doing this de-extinction research. The research does also depend heavily upon preserved pelts from museums, as well as the RNA which they've harvested from the cells of those specimens and others. So the idea is to utilize the closest living ancestor of the thylacine as a surrogate host, and it looks something like a large pygmy marsupial mouse. So it's not very big, which is really interesting. So there's a lot of ethical questions surrounding bringing the Tasmanian tiger back from extinction. The first is, how much does this cost, right? Like, how much money is required to do this type of research? Is this going to be taxpayer dollars? Is this going to be completely privately funded? What is the actual monetary cost? The second is, who funds this research? Are we looking at just private, funders to do this, or is it something that we ask the public to do? What is the benefit really of reintroducing an apex predator like the thylacine? Are there ecosystem benefits that arise from bringing back a species that was eradicated by us? Is the reintroduction of the species sustainable? Meaning, is this species going to suffer the same fate a second time? And are we going to be putting animals through unnecessary harm to do this research? Also, are we actually bringing the thylacine back, or are we just bioengineering another creature to look like a thylacine and then calling it a thylacine? And I think the best question of all is this decision being driven by human guilt, because we are the ones responsible for this species extinction? So here's my list of sources. I really enjoyed this project and look forward to hearing your comments.